rivalry between the Bradley Braves and the Illinois State Redbirds from Redbird Arena in Normal, Illinois. And it's sold out this afternoon. Let's take a look at our standings brought to you by Peabody Energy. Why is this game so important? Well, you take a look at Illinois State, Bradley. Both these teams at 500 in conference play at 5-5. With Charlie Spoonhour, I'm Dan McLaughlin, and welcome to our MVC State Farm Game of the Week. We talk about rivalries inside conference basketball, and certainly here in the Valley, this is one of the best ones.
It's one of the best, and I think that's why today it's probably not very important what happened last week, last night. Right here this afternoon, it's going to be a full house. Emotion's going to be the big deal, and somebody's going to step up.
Well, we've got two of the best scorers in this conference. Let's start with the Bradley Braves and Sam Maniscalco, and he's really put together a strong week lately, too.
Had a great week. He's player of the week. The thing he's showing here is the ability to drive to the goal because people are coming out on him. He can shoot threes. He knows how to play the game. His father was a great point guard before him.
And on the other side, one of the most electrifying players in the country, Osiris Eldridge.
And he had a bad ball game his last outing, and you know he doesn't want that to happen again. He can't afford to not be involved in things, Danny. He had 1 rebound, 1 assist to go with 9 points. That's just not like him, and they can't win with him playing that way.
Rivalry game, it's a huge one inside the Valley. Illinois State, the Bradley Braves will tip it off with our starting lineups coming up next in the State Farm Game of the Week. Scoring teams in this conference will start with the Braves on the left. Maniscalco, we highlighted him in the open. Roberts, Warren, Brown, Egolf on the right for Illinois State. The home team, Phillips, Osiris Eldridge, leading scorer in the conference. Ruben Carmichael and Dima Odiakosa. Jim West in his 8th season at his alma mater. 136-115 with the Braves, his only head coaching position. 10-5 all-time against Illinois State, and surely one of the great players ever in the 100-plus years of the Missouri Valley Conference. On the other side, Tim Jankovich, 9th season as a head coach, 62-27 with the Redbirds at Illinois State, 32-19 against teams from the Valley. He's had great success against MVC teams. And let's take a look at Charlie Spoonhour's keys to the game.
Well, I think if you're Bradley, you've got to be sure that you get things going and make things work. If you're Illinois State, I'm talking about getting Osiris going in things. Interior presence, containing dribbles is going to be important for both teams today because the guards can take the ball and put it on the floor and get somewhere. Rebounding and fouls in a game like this, huge.
Our keys to the game, a presentation of State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Well, this is a series that dates back quite a while ago. This game, the 109th meeting between the schools, as Bradley leads the Interstate 74 rivalry 61-47. The Braves, though, have won 7 of the last 9. And this is brought to you by Diet Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Missouri Valley Conference. If you can't tell at home, boy, it is rocking inside Redbird Arena as the home squad is being announced. There's our officials on the far sideline. It is a veteran crew with Tom O'Neill, who worked the NCAA Men's Division I Championship just a season ago, Jerry Pollard and Steve Skiles. Coach, I want to get your insight on this. You've been on both sides of being the home team, away team in a rivalry game like this. Take me inside the locker room for Tim Jankovich and what he's doing during a home game to try to get his kids ready.
Try and make sure that your guys don't get too excited. Adrenaline's a big part of this thing. You don't want to just run out and just start slinging the ball all over the lot. And if you're coming here as a visitor, use this energy. Use the crowd energy. Feed off that. That's great.
Were you one of those kind of coaches, though, on the other side, that if you're Jim Lesh, you say, guys, let's script the first 5 minutes if we can offensively, meaning let's take our offensive possessions down to 15 seconds on the shot clock and really try to stretch it out?
It's not a bad idea, that's for sure. And scripting plays is a good idea, Danny, because you can say, let's do this, this, and this, and we'll see how they're going to guard, say, high screens, how they're going to guard the dribble, how they're going to guard the center. They're going to double him. So scripting is not a bad idea. The main thing you got to do, though, is not let someone knock the ball away from you and get run outs. You don't want to start this game behind, and that's what's happened to Bradley on occasion. Well, they were 2 for 19 the other night. I mean, you can't afford that.
Yeah, I think your one key about Osiris Eldridge is right on. That's spot on. He is the most electrifying player at times in this conference, coming off a real sluggish game for him here at home. If he gets it going, watch out.
If he settles for threes, and he's a really good three-point shooter, but if he just settles for threes and isn't really involved, he's not nearly as good. I would also look for them, Danny, to go inside. They've got a little advantage in the middle.
Tip is controlled by the Redbirds. Here at home, they're in their home whites, red trim. Bradley in the dark red away uniforms. Phillips with it, first possession of our ball game, and it's man-to-man shown here by the Bradley Braves. Osiris Eldridge to Odiakosa on a great feed, 2-0 Redbirds.
See, there you got involvement by Osiris Eldridge, and he looked quicker than he looked any the other night.
Now it's Maniscalco. He's had a real solid year, the junior from Chicago. With the basketball here, and they'll put Phillips on him.
Here's going to be your issue. Stand between these guys in the basket, because 4 of them can dribble.
And Brown hits it from the free throw line to tie it up at 2. Osiris Eldridge with it. Inside to Odiakosa. You talk to the coaches in this league, and they say Odiakosa is one of the more improved players this season in the Valley.
I don't think there's any question. He's gotten better each year, and simply because this is only his 6th year of basketball. Right then, it was one-on-one defense on Odiakosa. It'll be interesting to see if you can get away with that.
Maniscalco. Now they'll go left side. Brown again, short. Phillips with it. Here's Carmichael. Good-looking freshman, isn't he, Coach?
Very good. And he started the game so quickly the other night, and then for whatever reason sort of lost the rhythm.
Back out to Rubin, who can really shoot the 3. Now Osiris Eldridge. Here's Carmichael, gets it after the pick, and it won't drop. Ball is loose. Maniscalco comes away with it. Got it stripped by Phillips.
Oh, my.
Phillips all the way in. No, knocked out of bounds. And it stays with Illinois State.
I think there's a little excitement in this place.
Great.
What a strip right there, my goodness. Nice look up the floor here to see what we can find.
Eldridge will inbound for Illinois State. Out to Carmichael, and again, he's a 6'9 freshman from Manhattan, Kansas. There's Tim Jankovic, who spent quite a number of years in that area of Manhattan. Eldridge hits the 3.
Set play.
Five to 2 Redbirds. Brown, and that'll be a reach-in against Phillips.
And that's going to be an issue today, because with all the dribbling that's going on, if you could have managed to stay out of foul trouble and still stay between them and the basket, you're really playing pretty good defense.
And for folks that are tuned in, you'll see Jim Les is wearing tennis shoes. The coaches are all wearing tennis shoes, even my partner wearing tennis shoes. Coaches versus Cancer, great program that really was something of an initiative by our good buddy Norm Stewart.
Norm certainly was a big part of that. And that's grown each year, and it just gets bigger and bigger.
I had the chance to do Jim Boeheim's 800th win this year, Coach, and one of the first things he said, and that's off the mark, may have been forced that time by Eldridge. One of the first things he said after getting win number 800 was talking about guys like Norm Stewart and the other coaches that made coaches versus Cancer so important.
Well, Norm was one of them. Big East coaches. It was something that started a little slowly, started with a 3-point shot, but it's just grown and grown.
Here's Roberts. He hits the 3 right in the face of Eldridge, 5-5.
Better not relax today. This is a player's day today. A little coaching going on, but this is a player's game.
Well, this is what we talked about. You're just about 4 minutes into this game. If you're Jim Les,
nice.
You're happy because Warren's going to go up and lay it in for the easy 2 and the lead for Bradley. 7-5, so they have weathered that early storm.
They certainly have, and this is a good start, honestly, by both teams. Both teams are getting a little bit of what they want, I think.
Eldridge to Phillips, now to Rubin. First couple of possessions, they were going inside to Odiokosa. They do it again here. Little jump stop. They call that on the floor. And I believe that will go against Will Egolf, the redshirt sophomore.
Nice steal here, just running through the passing lane. You've got quickness, those sort of things happen for you. Egolf did a nice job, Danny, with Odiokosa. He hung in there pretty good. He got 4 good minutes. Now you give Singh a chance.
Sam Singh in his 6th year. Here's Phillips. Saw a little Carmichael tried to go for the flush, couldn't get it to go down. We come back the other way. Andrew Warren, that'll be a carry, and back in the hands of the Redbirds.
Little point of emphasis this year is on carrying the basketball. We've seen it called a lot.
They've also talked about the secondary defender rule. We've seen that come into play here as a point of emphasis this year in college basketball.
It makes sense if they put the dotted line in like the NBA does. It doesn't cost that much to paint that in.
And that's been the biggest complaint from the coaches. They like the rule, but it's an interpretation called by the official.
It'll make the official's life a little easier also.
Absolutely. It's a tough move. Odiokosa.
He couldn't do that 2 years ago. That wouldn't have happened. So credit his coaches for getting him to that point.
He averages 12 points a game. Dima Odiokosa from Nigeria. We're tied up at 7. This great rivalry in the Valley. Bradley and Illinois State. Singh inside, little pump fake. Can't finish, and a foul by Odiokosa. We step aside with 15:25 to go in our first half of play from Redbird Arena, and a special guest is coming up, and a friend of the Valley, Mark of the week. It's 7-7. That was just moments ago. The commissioner of the Valley, Doug Elgin, on the left, our guest, Assistant Vice President of Advertising for State Farm, Mark Gibson, who's been kind enough to join us now. And if there's anybody that knows a thing or two about this rivalry, it's this man here. You know a lot about this Illinois State rivalry.
I sure do. Thank you very much for being here, Dan and Coach. Well, I'll tell you, I grew up here in Bloomington Normal, and I went to Bradley University, so red works today for me and a lot of other people here.
You got to be happy with the start then.
Absolutely happy with the start. A lot of excitement. It's just great college basketball atmosphere here. Let's be honest. I don't think the world knows about this rivalry. It's one of the best in all of college basketball.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And State Farm has been gracious with the Valley. Over 2 decades you've been involved in representing State Farm and the Missouri Valley Conference and sponsoring the events. Why has this been a good fit for you?
Well, first of all, this is our home. The Midwest is our home. The schools that are in the Valley are right here in our backyard. We have people who are working at State Farm, agents and employees who come from all of these member schools. It just makes a lot of sense for us to have that fit and to be able to be involved with these great institutions and these scholar athletes.
And in many ways, you were there early on with the Valley. Now, the Valley is 100-plus years old, but you go back 2 decades to think about the neutral floor in St. Louis and the tournament and what that has become. It's one of the great tournaments in all of basketball.
It is one of the great tournaments in all of basketball. It really gives you that taste of March Madness just a little early. Wonderful, wonderful opportunity to connect with the fans down there, and St. Louis has been a great place for the Valley Tournament.
And I think we make sure that we tell the folks that it's not just basketball. You're a part of all the different sporting events with the Valley.
All 18 championship sports in the Valley, so it's a big opportunity for us to reach different people in lots of different ways. So basketball obviously is huge, but we've got lots of other sports that we reach the folks in, and the tournament is just one of those things that we have an opportunity to talk to consumers and lots of folks that have lots of eyes at that time of the year for sure.
Good start on both sides. We're 9-9. Mark Gibson been kind enough to join us from State Farm. Of course, you're watching the annual Interstate 74 rivalry game between Bradley and Illinois State. This is Rubin for 3. That's no good, but Illinois State will keep it alive with a fresh 35 into the hands of Osiris Eldridge and pulled away by the Braves. One of the great commercials that you have right now out there, LeBron James. That is a phenomenal spot. How did you get him involved with that?
Well, LeBron's been a brand ambassador for State Farm now going on a couple of years. And as you know, he connects to a broader audience than just sports fans. He connects to people across all cultures, all demographics, all ages of folks. He's a great ambassador for our brand. He does a wonderful job for us. A lot of fun to be involved with LeBron. Lots of energy around him, and he transcends the sport.
I would assume that the response to that commercial has got to be overwhelming too.
People love it. In fact, it's gotten lots of hits on YouTube, and we're just proud to have him as one of our brand ambassadors.
And Warren throws it away, much to the chagrin of Mark Gibson, who's our guest. And Mark, again, let's reiterate why the involvement State Farm with the MVC.
Again, we're just proud of our involvement. It's been a wonderful opportunity for us to be involved with these 10-member schools in this conference. This has become a much higher profile conference. As you said, the tournament, lots of people are going to St. Louis to the tournament, and we really have had the opportunity to connect on a national stage using the Missouri Valley as one of those vehicles.
Always great to see you, sir.
Very great to see you, Dan, and appreciate everything, and let's hope for a great game here.
Yeah, this should be a great one, and we appreciate State Farm and what you guys do at the Valley.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Mark. That's Mark Gibson. Osiris Eldridge hits the three.
I'd say Eldridge is a little involved today, Danny.
Yes, hits his second three. It's the biggest lead on either side. It's 14-9. This will be Maniscalco with it. Bradley trying to get into a little bit of a rhythm, and Roberts lets it fly to answer with a three of his own. That's no good. And we'll go back the other way. Illinois State trying to add to their lead here at home. It's a 5-point lead. Phillips feeds it to Odiokosa, and they'll just set it up.
Might have been a step too far for Odiokosa to make his move.
Oh, nice look. But the block by Singh to the feed from Phillips to Lewis. 12:19 to play here in our first half. What an atmosphere, huh, Coach?
This is good today, Danny. Atmosphere is good. The kids are playing hard. There's some really nice plays being made.
So a timeout on the floor. A 30-second timeout taken. 18 on the shot clock. And I believe the timeout was taken by Tim Jankovic. And you see Jim West in the middle of that huddle. He is all over his kids right now.
Well, they've got to get a little more pressure on the basketball. A couple things I think probably bothering Jim. There's not enough pressure to keep people from passing it, and you just cannot let Osiris Eldridge get an open look at the basket.
So 7-0 run in the last 3:05. And Illinois State has started this game 6 of 14. Bradley 3 of 7.
Both teams have gone to their bench, and the bench players have come in and adapted to the play pretty well, I'd say.
Osiris to Carmichael. Missed it. He golfed the rebound.
Defensive help caused that miss, but that was a nice play.
In the lane, a wild shot and a foul. As Sims Edwards, the freshman from Washington, Illinois, was fouled. He had a stress fracture in his left ankle, or rather left foot, on December 15th and missed a little bit of time, but they really like what he can bring to the table. He's only a 54% free throw shooter. He'll shoot 2 here.
He's shot free throws better once they got in the league. He's been better.
There is not a seat to be had here at Redbird Arena. Sea of red. Carmichael picks up the miss.
Carmichael keeps working, Danny. He's going to be a really good player. Oh, my.
Osiris lets it fly. No good. Ball is loose. Maniscalco kept it alive. And it's into the hands of the Bradley Braves and the freshman Sims Edwards.
What a nice play by Maniscalco. Not the pass, but the hustle play to get the ball back in bounds.
So we'll step aside. It's a 4-point lead for the Redbirds here at home. Gatorade presents our NBC legend, Illinois State's Bob Donewald. A native of Carmel, Indiana, Donewald served as head basketball coach at Illinois State from 1978 to 1989. His winning percentage is top among head coaches who served 10 or more seasons as the Red Board mentor. The 1985 NBC Coach of the Year, he took 3 teams to the big dance, and that's Gatorade. That's G, our Gatorade legend. In our State Farm NBC Game of the Week, 11:45 to go first half. Many of you along the NBC television network were watching Washington at Washington State. Then you broke away to join us at the opening tip here, 92-64 the final, as the Huskies get to 4-5 in the Pac-10. We've got a good one here. Dan McLaughlin, along with the coach and future Missouri State Hall of Famer, Charlie Spoonhour. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, Danny. Appreciate it.
And is that 2 weekends?
No, 1 weekend.
1 weekend. Oh, there's a steal. Matt Niscalco, they've got numbers. He'll take it all the way in for the 2. Have you practiced your speech?
My speech is done. I have no speech.
I know. I just figured you just get up there and wing it.
I don't think I have to talk very much.
They're going to want to hear from Coach Spoonhour. You know that. Another turnover. Careless with the ball that time. Egolf gives it up, and they'll set up the offense. Chance to tie or take the lead here. Maniscalco finds the open man, Roberts. It's a wide open look. A little bit better that time. And Clark picks up the miss.
Danny Maniscalco's doing a nice job of involving everyone but himself. He probably needs to be just a little more selfish and find a spot to get a shot.
Here is Phillips.
Nice
all the way in. No, the tip. And we may get an over-the-back call that will go against Illinois State. And they're going to go call that on big number 32, Carmichael. You look at that body of Carmichael, and again, he's a 6'9 freshman. And you wonder how kids like that get away from Manhattan, let's say, in Kansas State, and Frank Martin. Now, he's got a great program, but you get 4 years to work with that young man, watch out.
He went to prep school for a year, and Illinois State just kept working him and talked him into coming. That's a great pickup.
Seen him a handful of times, and he is a factor every time you watch him play.
He's got a little idea how to play. He's not just a guy out there 6'9". He knows how to handle a screen there. Helps.
Maniscalco, tough shot. Looked like almost, Coach, he was going to pass it and realized he didn't have an open man.
It looked like that, Danny, and he's too good a shooter to do that. He needs to think about scoring. It's just like Ruben. Ruben's very content just to dish it off to someone else. He needs to be a threat. People need to guard him.
There's Eldridge going inside to Carmichael.
Whoa.
By the way, Odiakosa, Eldridge, the 14 points for Illinois State. Lewis inside. Finally, somebody else.
Somebody else gets a basket. You're right.
Here's Taylor Brown. Stepping through is Sims Edwards. Looking for help, and he gets it. Brown fouled by Osiris Eldridge.
Really could have avoided that foul then. That was not a very thoughtful foul.
Closed captioning for our ball game is made possible by Emerson, the global manufacturing and technology company. To learn more, visit emerson.com. Emerson, consider it solved. And this will be 2 shots, they say. Initially, you thought it might be on the floor, and I think that's what Tim Jankovic is saying. That was a foul call on the floor. You did have a block on the play, but that was after the whistle.
I think that's not a very animated discussion. It's one of acceptance, I think.
Tim Jankovic will be part of our halftime show, and you'll learn more about his passion of tennis. He went to Wimbledon over the summer. And, Coach, let's take a look here. Well, that's the right call.
That's the correct call. It's amazing how often officials get these things right.
Of course, you didn't feel that way when you were coaching.
No, I didn't.
At least you're honest.
And I was usually wrong. That was brutal. You'd have to go back and look at tape, and you'd have to say, I was a little out of line.
Brown hits the free throw, and it cuts this lead to 3. 16-13, just over 9 minutes to go.
Well, both these teams have to feel good about the way they're playing. Maybe a few too many turnovers, but nonetheless, the effort is really, really good.
Here's Osiris Eldridge. He has 8, gives it up to Rubin. Eldridge is open. You know he's going to let it fly.
Close.
And the miss is picked up by Roberts. To Brown off his hands and out of bounds.
You can see Coach Les is probably a little exasperated by that, but that is at least a positive turnover, Danny. It's going towards the goal. You're trying to make something happen. It's not just careless.
There you see the turnovers, 10 total in this game. The visiting Braves with 6 of the 10. They trail by 3.
If you don't want to get screened, just don't play in this game, because both teams, there's multiple screens on every play.
Odiakosa to the feed from Hill inside.
Nice, nice.
8:24 to go. If you're just tuning in, Eldridge is 3 of 7 with a couple of threes and 8 points today.
Going past the second screen, the first screener rolls to the basket, second screener holds, first screener was wide open.
Odiakosa hits the free throw. That's a positive. When Dima starts knocking him down, he's a 53% free throw shooter.
Phillips doesn't stay out long, does he?
Not at all, and he'll give Osiris Eldridge a little breather over there. He won't stay out long either.
No, Phillips plays almost 35 minutes a game.
Lloyd Phillips out of Washington, D.C. There's the miss. Spinning. Short. Loose and chased down by McCain. There's a strip. Rubin diving for it. Couldn't come up with it. McCain feeds it left side. 3 up. That's no good. Lewis rips it away.
Lewis has done a good job since he's been in there. He's got a bucket, got some rebounds, and now he's going to set a screen.
Phillips all the way in.
Credit Odiakosa there, boxing his man out. That was a smart play.
Lloyd Phillips gets his first 2. 6-point lead.
Good job defensively by Rubin. Good job all around by both these ball clubs.
Here's Warren. He'll try the 3. Yes. Right when you think that Illinois State might make a little run, get a little separation, it seems like Bradley has come up with a big bucket more times than not. First 12 minutes or so, it's been that 3.
And Warren is almost a 50% shooter in conference, 48.
Lewis. Odiakosa.
There's your pick and roll again. That involves your big guys. That's a little bit unusual. Nice help then, Illinois State.
Odiakosa with 9 to lead all scores. Here's Singh. No good. Odiakosa the rebound.
Little slip screen. Both these teams will do that, Danny. They'll come up and set a screen, then don't hold it. They'll just slip and go to the goal. Hard to cover.
6.5 to go in our first half of play. Lewis.
Oh my.
Not what you want there.
No, I think sometimes you have one good play and it sort of gives you a false sense of security.
Here's McCain. Jerry Pollard, our official, mixed in over there. And it'll be a turnover into the hands of Illinois State. The good feed, high percentage shot right there. Redbirds on top here at home. Between Bradley and Illinois State. And let's take a look at our Scholar Athlete of the Week, presented by Prairie Farms. Our junior guard, Sam Maniscalco, who's playing today. 3.38 GPA in sports communications. Second team MVC in 09 Scholar Athlete selection. You see his numbers on the air. Congratulations to Sam, and I know that you know Sam and his family pretty well.
I know his father a little bit, and I've enjoyed watching his father play, and I've enjoyed watching Sam. He's a smart kid and plays hard, and he tries to do whatever helps the ball club, and that's what makes it good.
Coach, big game today in the Valley. 25th ranked Northern Iowa rallied from a 4-point deficit in the final minute 23 to win 55-54 at Missouri State at JQH Arena. That is a huge win in Springfield.
That's a good character win again for Northern Iowa.
Phillips throws it out of bounds and a turnover. And that'll be the 5th turnover charge to Illinois State. And there's 7 against Bradley.
Credit that one to the bench. That was a 1-3-1 half-court defense that time. A little different attacking of that rather than the man.
They'll go inside on this possession. Little floater. The fadeaway is good by Taylor Brown. Good-looking sophomore out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Here's your one. Looks like your 1-3-1 again, or maybe back to man here. Yeah, back to man.
Eldridge is still on the bench over there on the far sideline for Illinois State. Here's Odiakosa, who is 4 for 4 to start this game. Egolf will be whistled for the foul. That is his second. Jim Les doesn't like that call. Odiakosa leads the Valley, shooting 63% from the floor. 63.
He shoots it down into the goal. That's why it's so good. Now, Egolf doesn't understand that foul, but the rule is if the man's dribbling a basketball, you cannot have your hands on it. We ought to be used to that by now.
So Singh back in the game. Big body will go against Odiakosa, but not much of a threat offensively. Ooh, a near steal that time, and off the hands of Sims Edwards with 23 seconds on the shot clock.
You don't want to have to take a man out with fouls, but it doesn't hurt to put a fresh man in on both ends of the floor like Singh is in this case.
Here's Phillips. We'll set the offense here. Rubin. Been quiet so far. Now to Thornton for 3. Good box out underneath.
And good running of the floor by Bradley.
Offensive foul. Andrew Warren, the junior out of Indianapolis.
Rubin.
I'm not sure he got to the spot, but his elbow is up. And I'm sure that's what we saw there from Mr. O'Neill, our fine official on this game. The Valley gets some of the best officials in the country. And again, it's worth repeating, Tom O'Neill was part of postseason play in the NCAA Tournament Championship a year ago.
Well, Tom O'Neill's been a good official, and we're back to, I think, a 1-2-2 this trip. But he's been a good official for a number of years.
Eldridge, who's back in the game against that zone, takes it in. No good. Singh the rebound. That's his second board of the afternoon.
Well, that's what you want. You want Singh and Egolf to get some rebounds, set some screens, and if they score baskets, good.
Maniscalco shoots it to the corner. 3 up. Yes. Taylor Brown.
Tie game.
Brown has 8 for the Braves. The zone so far seems to be effective. Hill, the offensive board. Eldridge takes it in. Free throw line. Yes. Osiris Eldridge now in double figures with 10.
You almost wonder why he doesn't use the mid-range game more, because he is so good when he does that.
You know, he flirted with the NBA, and he actually declared at one point for the NBA after his junior season. He worked out for the Trailblazers, a few other teams, but all the scouts said, look, you're athletic enough, we believe, to play, but might be a good thing. Go back for your senior year, get a little bit more experience, and come back and see us. Maniscalco can really shoot it. No good. Odiakosa, the rebound. Eldridge, Hill, Rubin. Odiakosa, the flush. How about that follow?
Wow. Big time play right there. But Odiakosa is playing hard on both ends.
Steps out a couple of times defensively here in this possession. Like now. Steal. Rubin. They've got numbers. Here's Hill. All the way in. Leaves it for Thornton.
Timeout, I believe, right here. Yeah, good timeout.
Bradley needs it. Lead back up to 6.
Ebb and flow in this one. Look at this. Bang, man.
And then that was the final play before the timeout. Dima Odiakosa, 12 points a game, 8 rebounds. And as you mentioned, not much experience coming into the college game, but boy, he's made himself into a heck of a player.
He's got great effort. His attitude is so good. He's got some skill, and he just plays hard. He does what the coaches ask him to do. Doesn't try to do too much, which is very important also.
Folks, beginning on the 31st of January, which is tomorrow, participating Schnucks and Hy-Vee grocery stores will conduct end-of-aisle displays where Valley fans can receive a coupon good for 2 single-session Arch Madness tickets for $15 with a purchase of a 17-pound bag of Purina Dog Chow. For more information, visit archmadness.com. Odiakosa, 5 of 5 from the floor, 11 points. That leads all scorers. He, along with Eldridge, combined for 21 now here in the first half. Maniscalco off the timeout. That's a productive timeout there.
You got that right, and they got Maniscalco involved and got him free on the baseline. 2 screens on the baseline.
He's top 10 all-time in threes. The junior from Chicago for Bradley. 3-point lead. Can they answer? They do. That's the 3. Austin Hill. He's a junior from Covington, Kentucky. Stepping out, Carmichael. Maniscalco again for 3. Just a little bit short, in and out. Here comes Hill. 1-on-4, and he'll pull it back. And the steal, but stepping out of bounds, was Andrew Warren. So timeout on the floor from Redbird Arena. 30-24. Teams inside the Valley. So all that coming up later tonight, of course, games tomorrow as well.
Illinois State.
Illinois State wants a timeout with 19 on the shot clock and 1:30 to play in our first half. When Metro Sports takes its TV cameras on the road, it considers these hotel properties its home away from home. Please call these hotels or visit the websites of these properties when following your favorite team away from home. And Coach, I know you're now situated under the basket waiting for a coach's interview. Why did you see the timeout there with 19 seconds left on the shot clock?
Part of that was due to the Wichita State game the other night. The game blew up with 1.5 minutes to go in the first half and went from a 2-point game to a 7-point game. And I think Tim Jakovich just didn't want to see that happen again, Danny.
You're over there with the cheerleaders, too. Don't get hurt.
I'm not going to get hurt if they won't fall on me.
30-24, 19 seconds to go here on the shot clock. Illinois State, Bradley, Interstate 74 rivalry inside the NBC.
They're running Eldridge around. I thought he might hit a lob there.
Eldridge the shot. Carmichael chased it down, and so did Thornton. 3 up. Phillips hits it. Over the last 3 games, Lloyd Phillips has led the team with 15 points per game.
Pretty good time to shoot a 3 also after an offensive rebound.
There's Taylor Brown, who's had a solid first half for Bradley. Maniscalco, the 2, yes, you bet. Pure shooter, isn't he, Coach?
He's a very good shooter, and I tell you, he doesn't force things, Dan. He just lets it come to him. He's a smart player.
15 seconds, the difference in the game clock and the shot clock. Carmichael comes out to give the pick for Phillips. Inside, Carmichael finishes.
Credit the feed. Wonderful feed that time inside.
Well, Bradley can play for the final shot here. Shot clock is off. Under 25 to play in our first half, which has been well played on both sides. Bradley shooting 45%. Illinois State at 44. Maniscalco gets it, and he'll be matched up with Austin Hill. Under 10 on the shot clock. Singh to give a pick. Maniscalco looking for another pick. Gets it. Singh Edwards, no. First half comes to a close. The Redbirds at home leading the Braves by the score of 35-26. Coach, take it away.
Jack, this half ended a little better than the one we saw the other night.
That's exactly right. You got a good memory. We couldn't have closed that one out any worse, but this was perfect the last minute and a half or whatever, and got us a little cushion, but a lot of game left. They're a very, very explosive team, and we're going to have to play another great half.
Well, this is a fun game. Enjoy it.
It is. It's great. Thanks.
All right, Coach, good job. Our chat with the coaches is always brought to you by St. Charles Convention and Visitor Bureau. When making plans to attend the State Farm MVC Women's Basketball Championship, go to www.historicstcharles.com or call 1-800-366-2427. Again, 800-366-2427. Halftime is upon us here at Redbird Arena. We've got stats, highlights, features all coming up. It's our halftime report in the State Farm Game of the Week from Redbird Arena. In attendance today, sold out at Redbird Arena, 33-26, the Interstate 74 rivalry between Bradley and Illinois State. We're at the half of our State Farm Game of the Week, and along with Charlie Spoonhour, I'm Dan McLaughlin, and a coach, entertaining first half to say the least.
I thought so, Danny. I thought both teams played really hard. It was a very well defended game, and you still got a lot of action, people playing, knocking each other around. I liked it.
Well, let's take a look at Coach's tip of the game, brought to you by Slew Care Orthopedic at St. Louis University Hospital.
Well, you see a few runouts like this off steals, but those easy baskets are hard to come by. Things were a little better on the pick and roll, particularly from Illinois State's point of view. Maniscalco got involved, and everybody gets involved in the charging fouls, but Maniscalco got involved offensively and helped. And then Odiocosa had an absolutely wonderful half on both ends of the floor.
Odiocosa 5 of 5, 11 points, and that led all scores. Our tip of the game is brought to you by SLU Care Orthopedic at St. Louis University Hospital. They can keep you in the game. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 866-977-4440. Halftime is here, 33-26. Back with more on our State Farm Game of the Week in just a moment.
When we give a child the ability to read, it's a gift that will last a lifetime. At State Farm, we're pleased to be part of the Missouri Valley Conference effort to help young people build their reading skills. Children pay attention when student athletes show how much fun it is to read, and how reading skills are so fundamental to doing well in other school subjects.
Launched in 1998, the Just Read program is a community outreach endeavor, co-sponsored by the Missouri Valley Conference and State Farm Insurance.
It's sandwich style with peanut butter.
Recently, student athletes from Illinois State University visited Epiphany School in Normal, Illinois.
Reading, I think, is like the basis of all learning. If you're a good reader and a good writer, you can do really well in school no matter what.
Say goodnight to Daddy. Say goodnight to Mom.
I feel like I have as much fun, if not more fun, than the kids do, because it's a lot of fun being in front of the classroom and having these kids look up to you and want to be like you. But I was in that same position years ago.
You revert back to your time when you were in these same kind of desks and looking up to your own role models. But like I said, it's kind of nice to step out of the uniform a little bit and get involved in your community when you have an opportunity like this.
Sneezing themselves silly and running to avoid the tomato tornado.
State Farm proudly presents the Just Read program.
Look at our halftime stats. A production of Ameren, a proud supporter of the MVC and the communities it serves. Both teams shoot fairly well. Illinois State 44%, Bradley at 43. Both had 4 threes in the game. Illinois State decided edge in the rebounding department there, 2013. Second chance points, and the points in the paint dominated by the Redbirds. Turnovers, only 5 here at home for the Redbirds, and points off of turnovers in favor of Illinois State as well. Stats, a presentation of Ameren. We'll be back with more right after this on the MVC Television Network in our Game of the Week presented by State Farm. Player of the week in the NBC, one of the clutch players for Bradley the last couple of seasons, Sam Maniscalco, the 6-foot junior guard from St. Patrick High School in Chicago, Illinois. 15 points per game against Evansville and Creighton, 19 points in the win against the Purple Aces, 11 points, 7 assists in a loss to the Blue Jays. 11 for 21 from the field that week. Sam Maniscalco, our player of the week inside the Missouri Valley Conference. Bradley and Illinois State were at halftime at Redbird Arena, and time for today's Purina Dog Chow profile. Kurt Pegler of station WMBD TV in Peoria takes a look at Coach Tim Jankovich of Illinois State.
Tim Jankovich has been around basketball all his life, but even in the middle of winter, while his focus is on hoops, his diversion is another sport.
What tennis is why I love it so much, it's why I love to play, is it's one-on-one basketball in a sense, and maybe a lot more fun than one-on-one basketball.
Jankovich likes tennis so much, he and his wife Cindy, along with friends from Kansas City, traveled to England to watch Wimbledon last summer.
This was the first thing that I've done in a long time where I felt like the kid, you know, like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. You know, to be in center court and all the things, and picture all the things that have taken place, all the matches I've watched since I was a kid on TV, and just picturing being there. And then I watched Federer practice for about 45 minutes and literally could have, handed him balls.
Jankovich played a little bit of tennis in college and a lot since graduation. But as far as applying tennis strategy in basketball on his team, he says that's not going to work.
As far as me drawing from the tennis world and taking it to our team, never figured out how to do that.
So for now, Jankovich will keep his basketball and tennis strategies apart. But while he works on plans for his half-court offense, he still has thoughts about his days at center court.
I still think about even during the season, I'll try to draw from it when we're having a pretty rough night or something, afterwards, and laying into bed and think, boy, that was fun, though.
For the Missouri Valley Conference, I'm Kurt Pegler reporting.
All right, Kurt, good stuff. Purina Dog Chow, long live your dog. Always entertaining when these two teams get together, Bradley and Illinois State, right in the middle of things in the NBC conference race. We've got more coming up. It's halftime on the NBC television network. Medical Center brings you today's NBC Famous Alumni. Bradley's Jim Les. A native of Niles, Illinois, Les was a standout point guard for the Braves, guiding the Braves to an undefeated league season in 1986. He was the NBC Player of the Year. Following his senior season, he was a third-round draft choice by the Atlanta Hawks in 1986 and played 7 seasons professionally. Now in his 8th season as the head coach of the Braves. Cardinal Glennon Children's Medical Center, we're led by with Coach Spoon.
Yeah, turnover's been a little bit of an issue. Oliokosa's a load inside.
Well, I thought it was second chance points. I think we gave up 12. They had 8 offensive rebounds. And we're just way too fast offensively, taking quick shots, and that's leading to quick turnovers, too, because we're just trying to be too fast.
Have a good second half.
Thanks, Coach.
Chat with the Coach is brought to you by St. Charles Convention and Visitor Bureau. When making plans to attend the State Farm NBC Women's Basketball Championship, head to www.historicstcharles.com or call 1-800-366-2427. Dima Oliokosa led all scorers. As you mentioned, Coach, he was a load. 11 points, perfect 5 of 5 from the field. Osiris Eldridge chipped in with 10. Tony Lewis, Jackie Carmichael led all players with 4 rebounds apiece. And Taylor Brown led the Braves with 8 points. And here we go at the start of our second half, and Bradley will have it for our first possession.
Les is too much of a gentleman to say it, but a point guard like him has a hard time understanding how guys can throw balls away. He didn't do that.
They turned it over 9 times in that first half. Bradley did. They forced 5 turnovers. Man-to-man defense here shown by the Redbirds. Same starting 5 on both sides. Egolf is playing with 2 fouls. He had no points in the first half. He averages close to 10 a game.
Sometimes when you're so concerned about defensing someone, you forget your offense.
Egolf trying to chase it down, and getting it was Phillips Oliokosa. The smallest man on the floor got it. Here's Phillips. He'll take it in against Maniscalco. We got a hand on it. Oliokosa finishes.
He missed the shot, but he got his own rebound. He's holding his head. Somebody must have hit him pretty hard to bother him.
It's now the biggest lead of the afternoon, 11 points. First time either side has had it in double figures. A whistle and a foul on Rubin. I want to always wish our buddy Boomer, who's watching us, I'm sure right now, good health, continued health, and happy birthday to him as well.
It'd be nice to see when he gets back and starts watching these games. Eddie Jackson's here today. We could use another set of eyes. It never hurts.
Not at all. Mentioned that you were headed to the Missouri State Hall of Fame, and just a weekend ago, I guess it was, weekend or two, is Dave Snell, longtime voice of the Bradley Braves, who was just inducted into their Hall of Fame. And congratulations to him. Good guy.
Very, very, very good guy. And he's sitting down there by Joe Stoll, another very good guy who's also in the Hall of Fame. Was a fair basketball coach in his own right.
18:41 to go in our ball game this afternoon. It's a good one. Illinois State and Bradley, 37-26.
Pushing contest with Eldridge right here, so this will be interesting to see. Look at the defense by Sims Edwards is a little tough on him.
Odiokosa inside, strong move. He is perfect from the floor. Warren on the other end, little ball fake, and a late whistle and a foul on Eldridge. It's getting to a point, if you're Jim Les, as you well know, Coach, still long, long ways to go in this game, but right now, lead at 13, rivalry game. You're the opposition, sold out emotions. It's kind of a tough spot, isn't it?
You try to forget that, but yeah, it gets a little bit more difficult each time. If you get, it feels like the load gets much heavier in a game like this when you fall behind.
And everybody says it. Talk to any coach, they'll tell you the first 5 minutes of that second half, especially when you're on the road, really dictates what may happen.
Yeah, and a good shot for Egolf, and he missed his. Then Odiokosa's got 2 baskets. It's not what you want, how you want to see the half start if you're Jim Les.
Andrew Warren, the junior from Indianapolis, very good free throw shooter, 86%, but 1 of 2 on that trip. Cuts the lead to 39-27. Almost a steal that time. A foul underneath. Jerry Pollard with that call, and that'll be Egolf again. So when you think about size down low and scoring down low, it's Egolf. It's not Sam Singh who has to replace him. Egolf with his 3rd personal. Odiokosa with the basketball, a perfect 7 of 7 to start the game, 15 points. Eldridge, Odiokosa. That's his first miss. Carmichael kicks it to the corner. There's Phillips. Oh, great pass. And Singh, he whistled for the foul as he was on the floor.
When the big fella misses, he seems to rebound his own misses. That's the other bad thing.
He is 7 of 8 from the floor today, and 1 of 2 from the free throw line to go along with 3 boards and 15 points. Good tackle there by Sam Singh.
That is a takedown. He could get fined in the NFL for something like that.
We kid about it, but it's a dangerous play, too.
We may be seeing more of this, Danny, right here.
The hack-a-shack theory.
You got it. I mean, you're at a point right now in this ball game where the ball's going into Odiokosa, and if you let him get the ball dunking, he's going to make those.
Coach, how do you teach a player to get better at free throw shooting outside of just saying, hey, get in the gym and practice?
You can do a lot of things to correct form if a guy will listen. The main thing is, though, you have to get a guy to believe that he can actually change it.
So more times than not between the ears?
Yes, more times than not. Almost every time. Mm-hmm. You'll see some guys that have terrible shots, like and one of them plays for Kansas, and he's probably going to be an All-American, but he makes his.
Cole Aldridge.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good player. That won't fall.
Smart defense by
Cyrus Eldridge all the way in, trying to feed it to the corner. And it's knocked out of bounds. Rubin was going to be the man that pass was going for. Maniscalco thought he knocked it off of Osiris Eldridge.
It's hard to explain that play right there. I think he did, in truth.
Yes.
It's hard to explain to a guy that play is probably not a really good play because he sees it and he almost made a wonderful pass.
13-point lead. And Phillips will get it near midcourt. Here's Odiakosa. So here's what you're talking about. Why not foul him here, send him to the line? Instead, he'll kick it to Phillips for 3.
There's where you get in trouble. You know you can't defend the big fella one-on-one. You drop halfway and help, and you give up a 3.
Singh.
Odiakosa with the deflection.
Yep. Into the hands of Lewis and now Osiris Eldridge. Phillips guarded by Maniscalco. 43-27. No one touched it. Phillips threw it away.
Phillips doesn't do many things wrong. He gets to do one every now and then.
If you're Jim West, though, Coach, you've got Egolf with the 3 fouls. If you tell Singh, go ahead and foul, then all of a sudden you got to start running bodies at Odiakosa.
That's about the only option. Pretty quick, that's going to be the only option you have.
Lead is at 16.
You need to find a way to score here. That's the man needs to get started.
No good.
Oh,
strong
nice.
Rebound.
Nice.
That was Taylor Brown. Here's Warren. He'll try it again. That's too strong. Lewis, the far side, pulled it in.
Here may be an adventure. Lewis occasionally has a little bit of an idea of his own.
Phillips, the floater, no. Odiakosa there. Rubin. That's no good. They bang inside. Lewis whistled for the foul as he was tied up with Brown.
Lewis is about to see what a technical foul looks like, as Jerry Pollard is just locked and loaded on him. Lewis plays with a lot of emotion, and sometimes you need to rein that in just a skosh.
Singh sets the pick. Maniscalco falling down, finds help in Warren. Warren, good help defense there that time by Illinois State. Great job defensively. Brown, open look, they need this. And that doesn't go.
A lot of defense is effort and hustle, and there's plenty of that going on today.
That'll be a travel. Back and forth. Here in the start of our second half. Phillips the 3 on the feed from Odiakosa men's basketball championship between Bradley and Illinois State. MVC Player of the Year Hersey Hawkins, who would average an astounding 36 points per game that season, capped his final home game at Carver Arena with 29 points. The Braves raced to an 8-point halftime lead and won the ball game. Coventry, GHP, because your employees deserve a better health plan.
It's been 20 years of Arch Madness. And Fox Sports Midwest and the Missouri Valley Conference want you to help pick the top 20 moments. Here's just one of your choices. After Drake's Luke McDonald hit a 3-pointer with a minute left, the Bulldogs had a 5-point lead. But Illinois State's Greg Alexander and Sean Jepson connected from long distance to rally the Redbirds in the 2002 quarters. Help choose the top 20 by voting now at Arch.
Bradley is 0 for 7 to start the second half of play. And as you talked about, Coach, they've had open looks. They just can't get him to go down. Brown blocked. Odiakosa with the block. He's done a little bit of everything. Rubin, deep 3. And Brown has it for Bradley.
Well, when it rains, it pours, and it's starting to pour right now. If you're Illinois State, if you can just keep some poise and hit a couple threes, you can put this thing maybe out of reach.
You see the Braves 0 for 8, the Redbirds 3 of 9 here in the second half. Odiakosa, the seal on Singh, and a foul. And again, maybe not a bad play.
Not a bad play at all. Not a bad play at all.
I want you to take a look at Odiokosa. He'll hold that ball pretty high in his form. So you're coaching him. What do you say about the form?
Well, let's see if he sets the ball. That's the first thing. He's practicing following through. Setting the ball is important. He did. Then he stops it. That's where it becomes hard. Once you set and then you shoot the basketball, it should be a one continuous motion from there. You don't need to stop.
So you're saying once he gets to the top, that's where
he stops right there. Now he waves it, and there it is.
That was a little bit better flow that time, wasn't it?
A little better.
Most points for Odiokosa since Southeast Missouri State. That ball game back in late November, he had 28. Excuse me, 19 on the 28th of November. And in this ball game, he's got 17. It's a kick. Odiokosa closing in on a double-double as well. He's got 6 rebounds to go along with 17 points and 7 of 9 from the floor.
It's really amazing how players are. Odiokosa started the game at Wichita the other night, and everything went wrong for about 5 possessions. And then lo and behold, he started to play well. Today he started good, playing better.
Here's Warren inside the arc, no good. And ripped away by Tony Lewis. You were at Koch Arena in Wichita. And tell you what, you think about great places to watch college basketball, and their fans are just fantastic. Greg Marshall's got that program back in the right direction, and fun to go there and watch a game, no doubt.
Their fans, and we've talked about this before, but their fans get in the game at the start. They come out at the half. They get into it. They don't wait to be entertained. They do a great job.
That's an offensive foul on Odiokosa, the pick. Wasn't set, so it's back to Bradley. Substitution for the Braves as Sims Edwards will come back into the ballgame.
Many times the guy gets the foul for setting a moving screen. It's the fault of the guy putting the ball on the floor. You have to let the screen get set, and then put it on the floor.
So in essence, you're a little bit too quick.
Yes. Now if you're the red team right now, they're running a set again, trying to get the ball in. You need to find a way to get a basket and get things moving.
Just get anything to go.
Correct.
And the scout girl, 15 on the shot clock, and finally Bradley gets a bucket.
Took, let's say 6.5 minutes, maybe. That's not much fun. Changing defense again. The only bad thing about going to this, of course, Rubin has not hit the ball, hit shots, but he's going to get one.
Eldridge for 3. No.
If you can get Illinois State to settle for shooting threes, maybe you get back in this thing.
Is there a problem, though, Coach, at this point, even though there's plenty of time, if you go to that zone, you extend possessions a little bit too long as well, as that's no good. Kept alive by Singh. And the putback, no. And what I mean by that, if you're Illinois State, you can really use the clock to your advantage.
There's no question about that, because if you just, unless somebody decides to go on an adventure, like we just saw.
So Hill is fouled with 12:34 to play.
People need to remember against the zone, the idea of just passing it around is not always the answer. If you'll take the ball, penetrate gaps, use the dribble, it can be just as effective against the zone as it is a man. Of course, this is a man right now, I do believe, yes.
Odiokosa is out of the game. Carmichael is in for Illinois State. Phillips out as well. And Justin Clark, a freshman, getting some time now for the Redbirds.
And Egolf should be able to get maybe get a basket or something going against the freshman.
Carmichael against Egolf. Right as he said it, Coach.
Or possibly, au contraire, as they say. Well, this is why Carmichael is such a great prospect right there. He's quick, strong.
Wow.
That's what I'm sure Jim Les was hoping would happen on the Bradley end of the floor.
Too strong, but they get the miss. Lewis with it. Oh, wow. He went right at Taylor Brown, and it turns out to be a 4-point possession.
And you're sitting now at a 19-point game. If you're going to come back and you're Bradley, now's the time. You've got the point guard and the #1 scorer on the bench.
Maniscalco no good. There's Rubin all alone. And he missed it. He's one of your best shooters, and he missed it.
Went right straight down the middle. Didn't dunk it.
And on the other end, Bradley can't get that to fall.
There's the lob, but it's not going to get there either.
Chased down by Carmichael. And a whistle. Foul against Maniscalco. Here in the second half, it's all Redbirds at home, 48-29. Dayton history brought to you by State Farm and led by Jim Les and Hersey Hawkins. How about that combination? Bradley will go 16-0 in league play. And again, that's our MVC date in history back in 1986, where they gave some teams long nights. Jim Les, Hersey Hawkins. But Tim Jankovic is returning the favor for many. Jim Les right now has not seen anything go right in the second half and trailing 48-29.
1 of 14. Start the second half.
And again, as we've talked about, Spoon has been bad looks. Carmichael couldn't finish.
Illinois State's been at the rim on at least 2 other occasions and just didn't finish the shot. I'm giving Bradley a little bit of a chance to maybe get back in this.
You see 3 field goals in the last 12 minutes. Here's Taylor Brown. Egolf. And a foul on Carmichael. Egolf with 4 fouls and no points.
I sort of think they did Egolf, I believe Rubin or whoever it was that reached in, did Egolf a favor because he was going to have to shoot through hands then. It wasn't going to be easy.
Illinois State here at home. This has proven to be one of the toughest places to play over the last couple of seasons. Around 40 wins, single digits in losses. Well, you got 10:51 to go. Singh back in the game. Jim Les talking with Egolf over there. He's got 4 personal. Coach, take me on that sideline with Jim Les. What are you telling your kids? How do you try to get back in this game?
He's just telling right there, I'm sure, when he goes back in, he's got to play and he's got to get good position and not foul. And he's got to try to make some baskets.
Near steal that time and a travel by Lewis and right back to Bradley.
Lewis does have some adventures, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Does some things really well, though. He's not afraid to try to play. That's the other thing.
Maniscalco trying to get it to Warren, and nothing going right now for the Braves. 10:25 to go.
So there's still plenty of time in this game. This is now the zone for Bradley.
Bradley has turned it over 12 times. Clark for 3. There's the hustle that time by Tony Lewis. We'll head back the other way for Bradley. 10:06 to go. Well, Maniscalco is the only Bradley player to make a field goal since 4:20 of the first half. Good luck. Singh. May have been a travel, but no call. And he's fouled by Carmichael. And Singh, a 43% free throw shooter, goes to the line.
I'm sure if you're Tim Jankovic, though, you don't want your guys to get sloppy and start fouling, because that's one way to let people catch up is when they score with the clock being up. Sam Singh is in his sixth year now because of injury.
Right.
Amazing.
Of course, there's some that stay in college for 6 years on purpose.
I would have been one.
Only 7 second-half points for Bradley.
1-3-1. Little trap, not a hard trap.
And that'll be back to Bradley. So they're trying to get something going here. Not a lot of flow here in the second half.
You got Phillips on the bench. Well, you don't anymore. He's getting ready to come back. That's how things like this happen.
And right on cue. Hill out, Phillips in. 9:39 to play.
This is only 15. 15 points can go in a hurry.
This would help. Too strong again. Kept alive, though, by Brown. 3 seconds in the laying on Sam Singh. Bradley shooting the three, 4 of 15 in this ball game. Now 4 of 16 after that latest miss.
You don't usually see 3 seconds in the lane. You can always bet that the official has warned someone, and that's one of those extended possessions, and just didn't get out of the lane.
Phillips with it. Says, why not? I'll just take the shot. Sing the rebound.
And that's what gets you in trouble. When you get in one of those, oh, well.
Brown, free throw line, no. Cyrus Eldridge the rebound. Neither team shooting very well here in the second half. All the way in. Another turnover. They've got numbers. The freshman, nice move. Sims Edwards.
And I imagine now Tim Jankovic is going to want to talk to his guys pretty quick, and there it is.
Lead is cut to 13, so a timeout taken by Illinois State with 8:27 to play. You're watching the State Farm MVC Game of the Week. 48-35. 48-35 with 8:27 to go. These fans certainly get into it here at Redbird Arena. Register to win an Arch Madness VIP package, including game tickets, hotel accommodations, and tickets to St. Louis attractions. Log on to ExploreSt.Louis.com for complete details.
I wonder if he wears that every day.
Would make you wonder.
Same defense, 1-3-1.
Under 8.5 to go. Charlie Spoonhour, Dan McLaughlin with you. Our MVC Game of the Week presented by State Farm. Rubin trying to get help. We've got under 15 on the shot clock. Gives it up to Phillips. Odiakosa is back in the game. Down to 8. Rubin for 3. Wow. Strong rebound inside Odiakosa. Fresh 35. Into the corner. Osiris Eldridge with it. Maniscalco got a hand on it. Rubin's got it. Here's Phillips. Osiris Eldridge for 3. The foul. And that'll be Andrew Warren with the foul, the junior from Indianapolis. 7:45 to play as we head down the stretch. Illinois State leading Bradley. Let's take a look at our trivia question. And it's brought to you by the Hilton at the Ballpark. For your next trip to St. Louis, stay in the center of it all at the Hilton at the Ballpark, located next to Busch Stadium. How many all-time State Farm MVC Men's Basketball Championship appearances does Illinois State have? For more information on the Hilton at the Ballpark, go to ExperienceSt.Louis.com. I know they have won 4, but they've been in that title game numerous times.
Odiakosa seems to hit the first one and miss the second.
Let's see if that holds true here. He's had a great game, 7 of 9 from the floor, 18 points. Hit them both. That kind of day for him. Ties his career high. He's got 19.
Had he not made those 2 free throws, this would have made things a little bit interesting, I think.
Maniscalco with it. Little ball fake. Now to Egolf. Warren and a foul against Rubin.
Oliokosa is seemingly everywhere.
He has 2. The team has 7. Bradley has 2 free throws.
This has not been a good day for Andy Warren.
The leading scorer, better than 15 a game.
54, Sam Singh for Will.
There's the block right there.
To make sure that there's no chance at a three-point play. Warren for his 8th point, got it. Hanging around, it's 50-37.
Back to the 1-3-1. At some point you wonder if Bradley will move that down the floor.
Oliokosa swing it to Phillips. Find the open shooter. Rubin gives it up. Good ball movement here by Illinois State. Oliokosa. That's a good feed from Lewis, huh?
He's had 2 of those today, Danny. That's good. When bigs can feed bigs, that makes life better.
There's Warren. Answers. See if they can get him going. Timeout taken by Jim Less. That'll cut the lead to 12. This is the closest they've been in a long, long time.
Andrew Warren gets a chance to heat up. Things will get a little bit better, I think.
Here's that ball movement that we saw, Coach, just a moment ago.
Everybody pretty much looking for other people, and there's your interior passing. And that's pretty hard to defend right there. Once it goes to the interior, everybody has to help. There's your bottom man, Maniscalco. There's no way he can be involved in that. It has to be the wingman dropping there.
Here's a look at the assists. The Redbirds with 13 today, opposed to 5 on the other side. If you're wondering about how well Illinois State shoots free throws, not shabby. They're at 72% and 71% in league play, 72 overall.
Pretty good, particularly when you consider that Oliokosa is at 50% at best. Free throw shooter means the other guys are shooting very well.
Career high 21 for Oliokosa, and what also that tells you, it's the guys that are handling the basketball too. It's the guards, the perimeter players.
You have to wonder about Rubin if his free throw shooting has gone the way of his three-point shot.
Oliokosa again matched up with Singh. Trying to back him down. Ball movement that time, but into the hands of Phillips for 3. Boy, that's big.
Kills him. You get a guy to shoot and miss, and then you don't rebound the basketball. That absolutely kills him.
Here's Warren again from the head of the key. That'll roll out of bounds and back to the Redbirds.
That was a high screen, and the screener went down and jammed down to get Warren an open 3. That's about as good a look as you're going to get.
So 15-point lead. Cyrus Eldridge with this 15-point lead has no points in the second half. You see the Redbirds' second chance points, 22 zip over the Braves. Here's Osiris. His first points of the second half.
And an assist by Phillips. And all of a sudden you're at 18.
Through 2 defenders, 3 up. Lewis the rebound with 5.5 to go.
Lewis has done some nice things today.
Cyrus Eldridge. Oliokosa, another rebound. That's his 4th offensive board today.
Well, he's the #1 offensive rebounder in the history of the school, so I guess it's only fitting that he should get a few.
And with that rebound, that gives him a double-double, 21 points and 10 rebounds.
And if this were hockey, Danny, you'd have 2 assists. You'd have one by Odiokosa and then one by Phillips.
Odiokosa at the line. Again, only 53% free throw shooter. 5 of 8 from the line. Now 6 of 9.
You said a minute ago it's that kind of day for him. I doubt if he's had a lot of them that crawled in the goal like that one.
So tough to go on the road and win in this league. Northern Iowa was able to do that earlier today against a very good and much improved Missouri State team.
4 straight free throws for Odiokosa.
And here Tim Jankovic and his club up by 20 here at home.
Excuse me, Danny. That's why Northern Iowa is leading the league, because they have that capability.
Answering on the other end, Sims Edwards. The chance of go home Bradley.
Started at the 5-minute mark, and they will probably pick up.
These two schools do not like each other.
It's been a very nice game. Hard played.
Rubin short with the shot. That's no good. Another rebound for Odiokosa, his 11th.
And I'm sure that Rubin, if that rebound had been stuck in, would have been claiming an assist. Rubin is very disappointed in his day. I had a career like that. He's just having one afternoon.
I think many people can relate. Short there.
4 in a row.
The thing was, though, you could see that time. I've been taking in what you're saying, having a little flow, and you just see it that time. He didn't have it. Warren for 3. And that rebound to Lewis. Now to Phillips. Under 4 to play.
And they're doing a pretty good job of keeping Maniscalco from having the ball. So that's...
It'll be a foul underneath. Away from the basketball, 3:49 to go. 60-42 as we head down the stretch. All Illinois State here at Redbird Arena.
Lewis just figured out.
3:49 to play, 60-42. Illinois State with the lead, and let's take a look at our game reset made possible by Emerson, the global manufacturing and technology company. To learn more, visit emerson.com. Emerson, consider it solved, and you know, wipe that clean. This game is all Illinois State right now.
It was a really tight ball game until the end of the first half. Illinois State sort of got away, and the start of the second half has just been all Illinois State from there on. Been some open looks.
And a foul.
Illegal screen. No.
Jake Eastman, a freshman out of Richmond, Virginia. His dad, Kevin, an assistant with the Boston Celtics. We go back to our Hilton St. Louis at the ballpark trivia question. 9 title games for Illinois State, and 4 of those they have won. So Eastman, who averages just 3 points a game, getting a little clock here down the stretch. It's the free throw. He's a 43% free throw shooter.
Well, anybody that scores 1,300 points in high school, you know, is a pretty good shooter.
And the rebound to Tony Lewis. Both teams now in the double bonus. So we've got under 3.5 to play.
Man defense now. Probably a little clock will be run.
Rubin will go inside. Odiokosa to add to his career high. What a game.
He has had a really nice game. Both ends of the floor.
Body foul against Rubin.
It's been that kind of day for Rubin. I hope he's not driving home.
That tough of a day, huh?
It
only get worse, huh?
Hopefully it'll get better.
Take a look at our player of the game, and no surprise here for Illinois State. Dinma Odiakosa with 25 points, 9 of 12 high percentage shots, and maybe the best part about it, 7 of 11 from the free throw
For
line.
him, yes. Now I got a hunch that people are going to have to start saying we're going to double him because he's scoring too many. You can't allow 25 and have Phillips and Eldridge out on the floor shooting too.
Sims Edwards, freshman. I know that, Coach, we were talking during the break. You like this kid. He's got a chance to be a good one.
Yes, I really do. I think he's going to be a very good player. He's a good athlete. He took the challenge of guarding Osiris Eldridge very seriously and did a nice job of it.
.255 to play. 62-45.
Fans wanted a shot there, but I think Rubin did what the coaches preferred.
Now, in all seriousness, a guy like Rubin, who is a very, very good shooter, 0 for 7 today, and he went 0 for 5 from behind the arc. That's so unlike him. He's one of the best shooters in this conference. As this shot clock gets down to 5, Phillips is going to have to let one fly. He gets a decent look. But I was about to say, with Rubin, what do you do, Coach? I mean, because you want him to shoot if he's open, and you want to make sure he's got confidence.
You want to be sure that you tell him that he did a nice job. He didn't let missing shots affect his defense, his ball handling, because it didn't. And then you just, you come out the next game, shoot the ball.
Yeah.
Shoot or shoot. If you're hot, shoot. If you're not hot, shoot till you get hot.
Under 2 minutes to go, and a steal that time.
Good.
That's no good off the deep three. And who else? Rubin.
And you know who's going to have 2 sore elbows and a sore hip. Poor Rubin.
Take a look at our player of the game on the other side for the Bradley Braves. Tough player, Sam Maniscalco, the junior from Chicago, Illinois. 9 points, 4 of 8 from the floor, a couple of assists. Plays a ton of minutes, good defense. He's our State Farm player of the game for Bradley.
You know, Rubin's going to get a couple free throws if he can stay in the game. But he's, we just talked about that day. He's got 4 rebounds today, 3 assists. I mean, he still contributed. He stayed out on the floor, defended.
Rubin looking for his first point of the game. He'll get 2 cracks at it.
He's probably thinking, I'd like to hit 2 free throws and be subbed for.
He's an 81% free throw shooter. And he gets the first. Odiakosa will come out.
Standing ovation. Well deserved. Well deserved.
25 and a career high for Dinma Odiakosa. Rubin hits them both.
There goes Osiris out.
13 points for Eldridge, 3 threes, 5 of 14 from the floor. Illinois State will go to 6-5 in conference play and 15-7 overall.
Well, we will be playing another game. And I have a hunch it'll be an interesting game.
Thompson to the freshman. Off the glass, no good. Thompson picks it up.
That big guy got one.
That's Anthony Thompson. He's a sophomore from Houston, Texas. When you look at him, he wears number 41 for Bradley. He's tall and he's thin, and yet he's gained 40 pounds. Phillips will come out.
Wholesale changes now for both teams, so this is academic, I would say, from this point on.
Terry Johnson into the ballgame for Illinois State. Now to Rubin. Keep the junior out there to help run this offense. Along with Tony Lewis. Lewis trapped. Now to Rubin. To Johnson. 10 on the shot clock, under a minute to play.
Oh, that's a dirty trick.
They just got iron. It's a difference of 3 seconds. Game clock, shot clock, 10,000 plus, sold out Redbird Arena, and they're on their feet as the Redbirds, against one of their top rivals, they show up big time today.
Lewis has got an idea here.
Eastman all the way in, but blocked by Justin Clark.
And that ought to do it.
That's how the game will come to a close. Illinois State, an impressive win, 66-47. Take a look at our play of the game. Presentation of Amtrak with over 500 destinations to choose from. Make Amtrak your first choice. Visit Amtrak.com today to book your next trip. Amtrak, enjoy the journey. Odiokosa, the follow-up slam, and a career-high 25 for him today.
He played really well, Danny. He started the game under control. He didn't miss for almost the entire first half. He rebounded the ball. He just plays hard, and he gets better each time.
So Illinois State wins in impressive fashion, 66-47 over the Bradley Braves. Illinois State 15-7, 6-5 in the conference play, and Bradley goes to under 500 overall. They're now 10-11 and 5-6 inside the Missouri Valley Conference. For Charlie Spoonhour, our entire Metro Sports crew, led by the one and only John Claybrook, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Next men's broadcast next Saturday. We'll be in Evansville. Bradley in Evansville, 4 Central next weekend. Coach, always fun.
Enjoyed it, Danny. We had a great atmosphere here again. Nice place to be today.
The annual Interstate 74 rivalry between these two goes to Illinois State. We'll see you next weekend on the NBC TV network.